Greetings, everyone. Welcome, YouTube friends. You have caught us for the return of the Gauntlet. That's right. I took the Gauntlet off during jury duty because I wasn't really playing enough during the week to justify not grinding my gold on Fridays and getting my collection built. But now that I'm off jury duty and back streaming more from and playing more from my main account, we can reintroduce the Gauntlet. That's right. I will be battling not randos on Arena today, but some friends in chat today. That's right. My viewers have signed up to battle me. I'm taking on 7 viewers using the site MTGAdraft.tk, created by Senryoku. I'll show you that in a second and show you how you can help out Senryoku too and send him some love for all the work he's done for the community in providing this tool. It's a cool tool. It's what they you might have seen my Sweatsuit Invitational videos or other people doing the Sweatsuit Invitational. That also uses this site. That's a 32 streamer 4-pod draft event that happens every Thursday thanks to the Hunter Pence streaming crew. And I participated in that last night, had a good time with that, and now we're back using the same tech here to draft with each other today. And it's pretty sweet. I'm going to hop over to the left monitor and show you what we're up to over here, get this tweaked just right. And so the way the Gauntlet is going to work, this is a best of 1 7-game Gauntlet in which I do a round robin playing everybody I draft against once. That means everybody who took the time to participate in this event gets to play on air with me, and it's a fun variety of decks and all that. We don't do sideboarding. That's a cost of the format to enable us to finish in a reasonable amount of time. But I really enjoy it, and there are some stakes. A stakes reminder. Of course, we're just trying to see who can get to 4 wins and win the week. And we also have been tracking week to week who's winning the format. So there's a long game format win that we're looking for. This is going to be the first Forgotten Realms. So Forgotten Realms is absolutely up for grabs. If chat can beat me 5 or 6 times, that represents a win of a shopping trip. We go spend some of my hard-earned gems and or gold on some bling, maybe some sleeves, maybe some treatments, maybe an avatar. Certainly no Jace puppet or anything silly like that. But the shopping is available. That's happened once. But of course, the grand prize, if chat can 7-0 me, like I have 7-0'd chat twice, I will point out, they get to work on what my next haircut's going to look like. Scary stuff. So, as I always say, good luck to all but one of my competitors. I don't mind a 6-1 loss, but I would like to at least pick up the spare. Pick up 1 win against this murderer's row of excellent players looking to take me down today. So let's fire up the readiness, and I will thank my sponsor Card Kingdom as we do. If you're excited about any of these sweet new cards we've been seeing and playing with, please remember you can pick them up via my sponsor, cardkingdom.com, and of course, check them out via my various affiliate links. Then they know you got there from here, and your purchases associate with my stream and help keep me on the air, help keep my sponsor happy with me, and I thank every single one of you who has done that so much. It is kind of the #1 thing you can do to help keep my sponsorship in a good place. So much love for everybody who has done that. Appreciate it. Now, what are we going to do here? We've got... I could take Delver's Torch and try to force my pet blue-white deck. No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to take the best card and see how it goes. That is not the long rest. You could make a case for the Innkeeper, but I don't see taking the Innkeeper over Chaos Channeler when red is just a better color to be in. Granted, we're more likely to fight for it, but... this card, I have yet to actually attack and play anything off of this, but only because it's must kill and my opponents keep killing it. They keep successfully killing it, but it is very, very much a must kill kind of card in my opinion. So I kind of like starting with it. JC agrees. Goodan more likes the Innkeeper. I do think it's Chaos Channeler or Innkeeper, and I'm taking the color consideration. I've come up on this a little bit, but often if you're doing life gain synergies, this is nutty. This does everything you want it to do. So taking this and getting into green-white is totally legit, and we can expect kind of somebody to do that. But I'm going to take the Channeler on preference, color preference, and kind of power level. It just goes into more decks generically. But Innkeeper with the ramp and the life gain, I really like it if you're doing the life gain thing, and I'm just kind of medium on it if all you're doing is ramping and gaining some life with it. But what the life gain deck needs more than anything are these repeat sources of life gain, and that's what makes it so strong there. Because a lot of the things you pick up to gain life in the life gain deck are one shot, and to get a repeat shot is pretty strong. Rare is still here. Uncommon is missing, so whatever was taken out of this pack, it was an uncommon. We've got the Barbarian, that's fine. Horde Robber in the black-red is fine. We started red. Could just take the Death Priest. This is... it's build-aroundy, it's got hoops to jump through. But stuff dies, and stuff dies often enough that you can generally turn this into good value. I have only played it once. I'm really talking about my one experience with it. It's a little soft at 2/2 for 4. But if you can produce the repeat death, I think you could justify it. Maybe it's not even the pick here, though. Maybe it's just something simple like the Barbarian or Robber, or even Cleric. Yeah, that's the thing. We could just take Barbarian on the red cut, and then we keep open on colors as well. I think I'm going to do that. Like I said, it's not that this is bad. It's just, it's not great. True likes the Death Priest. True's all over the Death Priest. Again, I'm talking about my one experience with it, where sometimes it did stuff and other times it just didn't. And there is, but yeah, maybe this isn't strong enough though. I've come up on Plundar here, but second pick is a little iffy. All right, I'll revert back. I'm gonna give True the nod here and give it a try again. See what we produce from it. Look at all this white. Not great white though. Bad. Not again narrow. Especially best of one. I like a torch, but not early. But we can take the Swarming Goblins or the Boots of Speed. Yeah, the Windseer is fine, but it's in blue, and we have reasonable colors, reasonable card and colors that match what we're doing. I'm going to take Swarming Goblins. I like Boots of Speed, but not really more than one, so I don't see prioritizing it as a pick 3 overall. I'm ready to not... I'm not trying to marry red black, but I thought Chaos Channeler was the best card. Death Priest felt like the best card potentially, had the best potential. And then this was the best card of that pack, so here we go. I mean, this is how you end up. This is how colors do this. Is like you're constantly take the best card. You constantly end up kind of leaning towards that. Here we take Priest. Blue Venture Flyer is interesting. I'm trying to be cautious about getting into blue. Priest is super strong. Evolving Wilds is strong. Horde Robber is strong. I like the Priest. Yeah, I'm going to take Priest. I think it's the best card here. I don't think anybody's forcing anything. I think this is a pod of smart thinking players here who are aware that we are all aware of where the format is at, but That was the case last night, and two drafters ended up black-red, and we ended up in the finals of our pod, so, you know. Format feels too fast for Instrument to be particularly good. This is where I can pick up a Boots of Speed and feel okay about it. Excuse me. Soul Knife Spy is a decent saboteur. If we were to end up here, we could do that. Delver's Torch, I like in specifically dedicated adventuring decks, but it's lesser unless you're really trying to do that thing. I would rather pick up the Boots of Speed if we're going to grab equipment here. And I think it is the pick still. Where the black is not flowing, but I could see us sliding into Boros from here. And Boros especially likes the Boots of Speed. Yeah, we're literally 5 picks in, though, so I'm not going to worry too much about our, quote, lack of twos so far. We're always got to be aware of that, especially in this format and against other good drafters like we are no doubt up against. So the blue is being encouraged. We could take Cleric Class, but I feel like the life gain deck has moved away from us, but this might be the best card. And we could, I don't know, we could abandon all this and end up green-white life gain. Clattering Skeletons kind of technically could do, is a skeleton for the Death Priest. But I feel like I might be getting into it if I'm again, kind of leaning into this black-red if it's competed for, if the colors are experiencing high competition. We can just take the Cleric Class on spec at this point. But it's certainly nothing super meaningful around white-red life gain. I think I should take the Skellies. I mean, we have the Death Priest. But this is an interesting build around. Man, I am really on the edge. I'm going to take the Skeletons because I'm not really doing the life gain thing yet, but I think maybe it wasn't too late to head that way. Pixie Guide, JC wanted to do this thing. I think JC, if we're at the helm, we'd be a blue deck right now, which may be correct. If everybody's afraid of blue and it's still draftable, then someone's going to get all the blue cards, right? But Manticore still seems like where I should be here, although, again, looking at our low end, I mean, we haven't really had the opportunity. I mean, I could take Guild Thief if we really, if we're... we could take that. It's a 2-drop. We need them. We could hedge as a possible blue drafter, but I think Manticore is good enough to still take. So I'm going to do it. But here we go. Blink Dog. I actually like to see. I'm going to take that over the Torch. Talisman is not bad. Plummet, good sideboard. A lot of torches going around. We'll take Blinky. Hasty Blink Dog with Boots of Speed is like 4 damage out of nowhere, If we go white-black, Blink Dog getting blocked can lead to the... First Strike plus Manticore is good times, right? So Blink Dog plus Manticore is kind of a combo. Here we could take a Torch. Could take a Shepherd. Again, I don't think... I guess black-white dungeoneering is a thing. I'll take a Torch on the possibility there over the Super Clunk removal. Yeah, black-white does venturing stuff, so it could absolutely do the thing there. We could hedge on a Great Axe over a Boots of Speed. Second Boots of Speed, as possible we do free equipping and that kind of thing to turn Great Axe into something real. I think first Great Axe over second Boots of Speed might make some sense, even though Boots of Speed is clearly a better equip in the abstract. But Great Axe, yeah, actually I'm going to take Boots of Speed. I want to continue to cut color, and Great Axe we can pick up later, and if we don't end up doing that thing, whatever. Null Camp isn't the best, but if you are fighting for a color and need to, you can run it. We have no 2-drop creatures, couple of 3-drop creatures, and then this high end, and we're 3 color looking for our lane still. So not loving where we're at so far. My hair's nervous about things so far, but I also think we'll get there. We'll get something resembling a deck by the end. But really it could be any, we could go any Mardu direction right now. Another torch. Yeah, I kind of would, with a second torch especially, wouldn't mind getting into black-white dungeoneering, since the best red card we took was our first overall pick into the Channeler, and then we didn't really get much good red from there. But what a garbage pack for us. Look at how there's just nothing here. What? Garbo. I should just take the rare and pivot into white-blue dungeons. We can get there, right? Yeah, not even a fun pick. I guess a Feign Death is the most likely to make our deck. Or we could take another Skeletons, but our big end is just so clunky already. Yeah, we could take, but I don't even, like, the Displacer Beast is kind of whatever. I do feel like maybe I missed the blue lane and we should have just hopped in it. Maybe JC has the best deck with where JC was leaning. We could take a 6-drop. I'm going to take the Feign Death. How am I first picking Feign Death? Ugh. But I am, because that's what's there. Talisman, Planar Ally, another Feign Death. It's Boots and Javelineer are non-cards, and red does seem to be fading a bit. Talisman or Ally? I think Ally. I think the double torch makes me want the Ally and just try and do some white adventuring. Yeah, you could do Javelineer with Talisman. That's real as well. It's close. It's Ally or Talisman, depending on which way we want to lean here. Yeah, wheel rope, and then pass it again. I'm pretty stuck on this one. It's a pretty big pivot moment here. I'm trying to take it super serial, because I think with the blink, I think the white has just been the most open. The black's been kind of open. I'm going to take the Ally. I did it. I had to make a choice. Talisman is strong. I'm just trying to read the table a bit. I hear you, Gauntlet. That's why it was so tough. I think in a vacuum it's Talisman, but I'm with the little table read, I like getting into the white a little more. We got Warlock class, Grim Bounty, and Pegasus as the standouts here for where we're at. Yeah, I think we just have to take interaction, right? I want this Warlock class, but Grim Bounty to actually kill something seems fine. Our packs have been kind of gross so far. Hopefully Everybody's decks are suffering a bit. But have not liked this seat at all. Captain, to pivot back towards red. It's at least a 2-drop creature. I mean, this is like one of the few 2-drop creatures I've even had the chance to take past our first pick. We can take Vampire Spawn, since we're more clearly black. And I think I take Vampire Spawn and kind of commit to the black-white here. Vampire Spawn, not great in this spot, a little early. But yeah, I feel you, true. But we sent the blue on its way, and here we are. So Brunor says, hey, you want to at least consider me? Funny that I missed I may have missed our blue-white seat, but Brunor could be cast off Treasure too. There's that, but we can just take another planar ally. This is going to be a gift to anybody doing the Boros thing. But I'm going to take another ally. Because I feel like we're more white-black than red at this point. Mace has... I just don't see how Mace fits in when I have 2 torches and 2 allies. Like, the 2 allies make me want to run the torches, not a Mace. So I could take Pit Trap. Yeah, it's removal, right? Not great. I don't want this Herald, though, so fine. I'll take bad removal. Manticore. I think Archfiend is actively bad. So far, I've been really happy when opponents have played it against me. The format is too fast for this. You play this, you're at 10 life. Like, what are you doing? So Manticore, while not amazing, looks like our pick here. And it's another flyer. Like I said, I like Delver's Torch on flyers. So having a couple Manticores to hook up with torches is okay. But our early game is awful. We're going to be... But it's not like... I mean, I'm trying to prioritize it, but clearly everybody else is too, because there just hasn't been anything to slot in it too. Deadly Dispute, we're going to slot in, and it's technically a 2, but it's not... we need creatures. Help! Help, help! I'll lose my hair today if I don't get some 2-drop creatures. I think we're off the red, though. We tried and it got cut. Potion of Healing! I think I take that over Ambushed on the Road. At least I could play this on turn 2 out of desperation. But... yikes! This draft is not going well. I just don't know how bad off everybody else is. 50 feet of rope. Are we ever playing this? Three mana is just not good. It's not good. I'm going to take Ranger's Longbow away from somebody who wants to block my flyers. And Dryad. This is untapped legend. Like, this is so unplayable. We'll take this from somebody, I guess. I don't know. Mace comes back around. Spare Dagger, I think, is going to be more playable for us than Mace. I'm simply not running a Mace when I've got 2 torches and I'm doing Dungeoneering. It's just not going to make the cut. So I'll take Dagger because we may end up with a run on Death Toucher 3-drops in the 3rd pack that makes us want to run the Dagger or something. But right now, this deck is barely functional. Oh yeah, good point. Works with the Manticores, so maybe we'll just run it even without Death Touchers. Great, another killer rare here for us. Another beautiful pack for... Are you kidding me? Dragon's Fire is going to be good for somebody in red. I guess we're taking a Ghoul. At least it's a 2-drop creature. Yay, it's a 2-drop, 2-power creature. Well, usually, I mean, you can just end up in a really bad seat. Like, let's say there's 3 good cards in a pack. And then, so the worst place to be relative to that pack is 4th seat in, right? So sometimes you can just be in the wrong spot. And I don't know if that's us. I might need, like, Mind Flayer really punishing us for not being blue. Robber for the 2 or Gargoyle for the plan. I think we're so low on 2, like, we need 3s as well. We could make a case for Gargoyle here, especially with, like, hopefully we wheel one of these 2. I'm going to go Gargoyle. I know we need 2s, but I love the Gargoyle. And I think we'll hopefully wheel Robber or Hexblade. Probably not Robber, but we can wheel Hexblade. Monk of the Open Hand is... Oh, here we go. Thank you. Steadfast Paladin is exactly what we're talking about. Just feed me Paladins forever and ever here. Flump is interesting too, just to... and if it wheels, I'll probably take it and run it. Like, Flump actually works with our plan. I hear you, Dynamo. But I just need creatures. I need early creatures. I've been focusing on the 2s, but the 3s are light as well. If we had been stacked at 3, I would have gone ahead and taken the 2 there per my prayers for 2s. But there's kind of been unspoken prayers for 3s as well, and I think this is strong enough for what we're doing to take. Clutches is a 3 we can run. I'm just looking for playables too at this point. Early playables. But yeah, if the Flump, for whatever it's called, comes back around, I am taking it and running it for sure. Bad removal is a reasonable suggestion. But now we get a Horde Robber where I'm happier to take it. Veteran Dungeoneer wouldn't suck. I wouldn't mind another Manticore, but Horde Robber for sure. And now I'm starting to feel like, okay, I have a curve. I have a mix of creatures and stuff. Especially if everybody else is a little down on their decks too, this can do some stuff. Another Torch is not realistic. We could take a Dragon's Disciple simply to have a 1/3 for 2. We may be that desperate, but I think we can also take a Gloomstalker here. I don't like these even in the Dungeoneering decks, really. It just takes too long for them to get better than below average. But this is a below average situation, so we'll take the below average card. Now we can take an Eyes and play it. Herd Gorger's still here. So I think maybe our seat was supposed to be green, white, or blue, white. I think green, white, or blue, white would have produced superior decks for us. And I think whoever took the chance on blue got somewhat hooked up there with the rare. If that control magic creature makes it around. Hey, Evolving Wilds at this stage of the game is pretty nice. Some good options for our opponents, unfortunately, but I'm going to take the thing that helps us cast our spells. Sure. I think we're going to lose to 7/6s. Although maybe we can fly above. Now we're just kind of cutting stuff from oppos. And I'm going to cut choose your weapon. Another Gloomstalker. It's a creature. We'll consider it. I don't need an ambush down the road. I don't think. Take another Gloomstalker and see how things break. You would run an ambushed? I mean, I guess it's reasonable. Especially if I'm not going to play what I took over it, which I'm probably not, another Gloomstalker, but it's all right. It's not a super priority. So here's that spare dagger. We could try. I don't think we're going to run it, though. I'll take it and put it in the board. Oh, we have a couple of them. It does work with Manticores, but it's not doing much without that kind of combo, and I don't like that. And we'll cut a playable green creature over another one of those. Hopefully I'm not playing the first potion, much less the second. Let's cut them and assume that we're gonna... But yeah, this is bad. I didn't end up wheeling any of the two, so black was competed for. I took a chance on the gargoyle and we did not wheel a 2, so maybe that'll actually... Every time we get a gargoyle, if we just desperately wish it was a horde robber, that will be a little lesson there. But, you know, you make your decisions, you take some chances, you see how it goes. But we're really down to just like a one-cut situation unless we want to play a potion of healing. We just have no synergies, so this really would just be a cycle card, which seems not good enough. Let's check our creature count, too. We are at, okay, this is 15 creatures, so at least we have a density of creatures. But, of course, it also means part of our problem is we have a paucity of removal. We're going to run this Eyes of the Beholder. Maybe we just drop Herald. I don't think we cut Pit. I think we're so low on removal, we need to keep that and that and that. Like, this is it. This is our... We have the double Manticore to try and get fancy with, but it's not going to be necessarily easy, although I like Feign Death Manticore. Feign Death Manticore says, block with Manticore, cast Feign Death on it. Manticore dies, but then it immediately ETBs and kills whatever it just damaged. So Feign Death plus Manticore is real. And Deadly Dispute, not at its best here, but I think generating some value from the various treasure we do end up with, and with response to removal, we could probably still run it. But I'll put, let's see, I'm going to put, let's put some cut candidates over here. Clutches, probably just want to run the clutches. It's just generically, like, you don't want to top deck this, but this is such a fast format that most of the time, if this is cast in game, it's going to be cast early because everything happens early in this format. So I think I like the clutches. Can't cut any of the 2 creatures. Could cut a torch. Maybe 2 torches is too many. Although we don't have, like, we have Cloister Gargoyle and the planar allies. Beyond that, our dungeoneering is the torches, though. So I really do want to draw one of these. And so then we're getting to removal. I don't want to cut because we don't have a lot of it. Feign Death I want to keep because it works with Manticore. Either we're dropping low on creatures or we're just getting rid of the Deadly Dispute. Death Priest is its own engine. It's not, I mean, this is why I almost didn't take it, JC. It's like, sure, this is way at its best when you're way more deliberately killing things or sacrificing things. But I do believe that basically if just one thing dies and you get a 2/2 along with your 2/2, then you're doing something. And spare bodies are good with like the torches. You can throw torches on the skellies. I think it's worth it, but it's like it's not. This is not a powerful. This is not some B+, right? This is like a weird C. It's a high risk, high gain, very swingy C, where in some games it's going to perform like an A, and some games it could perform like a D. Is where I'm at on this. And even the potential to perform in the low A's, high B's makes me want to keep it in just because we have such low power overall in the deck. I think if I cut a creature, maybe I'll just cut the Herald here. Let's cut I think this is my worst creature. I don't love going to 14. But I think that's a fair one to cut. So I think I'm going to go with this. Bring Back in the Wilds. And it wants, yeah, that might be fair. I don't know if we're 8/8 or 9/7, but I'll MTGA it, and then we'll get to deck building. Well, I like how Marshall put it, Jim. Like, would you agree that if you are not defensively fast, like you have to be fast in terms of deploying relevant stuff to the board, or you are easily run over? It's a very snowbally format if you don't have some defensive speed. So speed, not necessarily even saying that every deck needs to be turning small creatures sideways, but simply every deck needs to be speedy in terms of deploying its plan and interacting with opposing plans, or you get run over. Death Priest gets much better when you have Skeletal Swarming. That and Water is Wet. Clutches. Is that the 6 mana removal? Maybe we'll go. If so, it's because that's how desperate we are for removal. Oh, the Mind Rot. Because I've said Mind Rot is actually, like, if you could guarantee that every time you cast Mind Rot, you would get 2 cards, we would play it 100% of the time, right? Like a 2-for-1 for 3 mana, even though you've spent mana and they haven't, is pretty strong. The real drawback of the discard spells is is top decking them when they do basically nothing and they're a blank. Ugh, that's brutal. So when you're looking at the full texture of a card, you're taking that into account. And in a format defined by early action, it means that, like, more often relevantly, we're going to be, if we have that card in hand, it's going to be happening in the early game anyway. We could still go late game and draw it and be disappointed. But also, much the same way, for the same reason that I'm running the skeleton. Let's go take a look here. I just gave kind of a long spiel about how this is kind of a C-ish level card, but only because game to game it's going to be very swingy in how good it is. But the potential to be great. When we have this is a pretty weak pool. I think the packs were weak, and I think our deck is medium. at best. And when you're dealing with weak packs and a medium deck, you got to give yourself a chance at the home run side of these swingy cards. If I had a better deck, I'd be happy to cut the clutches and focus on my solid doubles, as I like to say, right? You got your strikeout home run cards, and you got your solid doubles, your Grim Bounties, and just a good creature or whatever. But we don't have a ton of solid doubles. We got a lot of C minuses in the deck. So given that, yes, this could end up being a D level card if we draw it at the wrong time. But given the issues with our deck, I'm happy to take a card that at least has a chance of being quite powerful if we draw it and use it in the right spot. Apply styles. I'm going to see if there's any rares I should just cut rather than craft. Nope, so we'll craft all. I got to craft a common. I'm not sure which one, but sure. Huh, I wonder what common I don't have yet. What have I never played before? Might be... No, I've had Eyes of the Beholder, at least in my pool. Anyway. Here's where we're at. So we've got, I'm trying to figure out how to name this. Looking where we have doubles, thinking about the mediumness of it. Spirit mediums. Yeah, we'll call this a seance, because this is a bunch of mediums. Lotus sleeves from Mama. Yeah, chunky today. So, do we like the... Do I want 8? I think I just want 8/8. I don't know. It was the... Yeah, 8/8's fine. And if nobody's going to redeem bling, well, I will choose. How about... Let's do some Jumpstart lands. Hand land. This one really wants me to go 7/9 as well. It must be the double black and Grim Bounty and stuff, but I think we want the split. All right, I'm gonna pick up my list of competitors here. Looks like Tron is batting leadoff for chat. Just gonna throw my player queue into my notepad and then copy paste. So we'll do sword challenge. And we want challenge match 40 card best of 1. But I will not use my sweatsuit deck. I would like to. Can I use yesterday's sweatsuit deck, please? Please? Good luck, Tron. Raptor, yeah, I've given chat, I've given competitors permission to watch me build my deck. It's an advantage for chat, sure, but it's okay. I'm just not worried about it. I could insist on seeing their list as well, but I mean, If you ever 7-0 me, I'm going to cite it as the reason the whole thing is disqualified, but it doesn't matter. Tron, did we use different methods of attack here? Oh no, we got it. Hey, Northo says, what if chat designed you a really rad haircut? I mean, one of the reasons, like, there's a chance that that happens, and suffice it to say, the worst you can do is make me want to shave my head the day after and regrow from there. So, like, I just have to embrace that that's the worst that can happen. Can we keep this? Boy, show me a swamp. And this is actually legit good. But this could do nothing, so we have to mulligan. Stupid magic. This we can keep. We'll toss a plains and can cast our stuff at least for a little bit. Well, we got the Blink Dog Manticore possibility. And, geez, wildly unfortunately, Tron is going to get in for damage because Blink Dog doesn't double strike successfully here. So, Boo earns. However, we do get to Manticore it next time. But that's rough. Tron accelerating to 4 on turn 3 is basically nullifying our play advantage, which we squandered on no 2-drop. Huh. Well. One of them's got to get through. We can just play... Yeah. I'm going to go with the Manticore plan. Whew. Glad we have the Blink Dog Manticore play here. It's going to be the only reason we're anywhere close to staying in this thing. We now have an active pit trap. But I think we should priest it up. Maybe we just need to pit trap the paladin here. Threaten to block the... Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong place, yeah. See if I left any new memes. I did get like 1 or 2 new memes in, but I have a lot from Prof to get in this weekend. Anyway, oh, and I can also move my chat back to where I like it. Yeah, let's go priest. And I can use the priest to block the robber, and we'll take damage from the paladin, and that's okay. So I'm actually going to attack with the Manticore. When I move around, like when I switch scenes or when I move my desk or whatever. I'm not sure what you mean, David.
When you move around, like when I switch scenes or when I move my desk or whatever. I'm not sure what you mean, David. 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 I'm not sure what you mean, David.
Oh, move you around. Yes. I feel you. All right, good. That's the attack I wanted to see. If Horde Robber comes in, then you know we're facing some trick that we got to worry about. Maybe a Manticore of his own. Land would let us go Pit Trap, activate Priest.
Go Team Venture!
All right, see, this is not bad. We could do the Priest play. Tron might draw a 4th card, play a land, play 1 spell, and leave himself with 2 for the clutches. But we can clutch and Robber here. And then pick off something with the Pit Trap next time, I think. And maybe find a land so that we can get the Death Priest activation too. Hey, Low Dash, thank you. Appreciate the sub. So there you go. Clutches being a, you know, a solid C+, B- here. Being a 2-for-1. But a 2-for-1 that cost us 3 mana and cost Tron no mana. So that's one of the big deals about the 2-for-1 you get here, is that it's sweet. It's you're legit getting the 1 card for 2 cards, but they haven't spent anything on the process. So but Cleric and Eyes are the dropped cards. So something here better than a kill anything spell. And I will keep attacking. I'm not going to block, so I'll attack. Although I guess we could make a case for blocking like Manticore Blink Dog on like the Robber. I'm going to keep attacking though. I can take some damage, and even at this point, Horde Robber connecting isn't end all be all. Yeah, true. Robber can't get through, which is why the Robber didn't attack last time, right? Only the Paladin did. So we'll see what comes at us this time. Interesting. So what does that mean? We saw Tron drop Eyes. I kind of just like Robber on Robber, not putting the Death Priest at risk, just preventing this Robber from connecting and taking 7 and seeing how if we draw a land, we get Pit Trap plus Skelly. If we don't draw a land, we get some action between Pit Trap or whatever we draw. So I'm going to risk it and only block the 1. And if Tron wants to use Manticore on this or whatever, it's all good. I sure hope Tron has put Embercleave in this deck, although I say that and then it's going to do a treasure, Embercleave, lose. All right, so yes, now I'm worried that Tron has like combat trait. Is there a indestructible? Maybe he's got one of those 1 mana white combat tricks we kept passing. But let's give this a shot. See what happens. All right, that's good. And that's going to give us a skeleton to block with. I like this, and this on attacks. Robber on Robber for blocks, and skeleton chumping Dungeoneer. Or maybe... I'm trying to figure out if I'm supposed to try to kill this Dungeoneer. Yeah. Maybe I just leave Death Priest back to threaten that block here. Let's send these two. Certainly, you here explains the attack last time, and he explains the non-use. Like Horde Robber, giving team +1/+1 wouldn't have even killed the Horde Robber. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of these gets picked off here. And there it is. So now the Death Priest has gone from D to C. We've made 2 2/2s for 4 mana. But if we make another one, then it's crawling into C plus B minus range, right? That's the swingy nature of this card. Five mana. You're right. But that one is so easy. Yikes.
All right, everyone, chill.
Formerly stable. Well, I'm willing to take... Are we willing to take 3? Well, right now we're just dead. If I do this, we're dead to the White Dragon. I guess it's better to give ourselves 2 turns. But losing the... We're going to lose both. I mean, it's just we lose both of these. And so then we're trying to win this game off of Blink Dog. And I guess we're just trying to top deck removal, and that's all there is to it. So given that, sure, we'll do this. I mean, Priest doesn't even really matter. It matters whether we happen to get this dragon dead now. Where were you when I still had the Manticore? Like, Manticore out right now would be perfect with this, but we lost our core. And we have another Manticore, though, so let's try and draw that. Yeah, we have the Blink Dog that we can... We could feign death, but I think our best hope is really Manticore off the top. So I'm going to preserve the feign death and just phase out the Blink Dog. Come on, Manticore off the top would be sweet, but Tron also has to not do anything else. Like, I don't know, this is not going great. One-time dealer, Manticore! Oh, come on, I even butt-rock shrieked it. I figured that would work. It did not. Good job, Tron. Had some outs, couldn't find him. Big Dragon. That's like the best card in the draft right here. Like, I don't have anything that good in my deck.
He's dead, sir.
That man's dead back there.
Must be dead. He was worse than dead. His brain is gone.
Well, still hoping to find somebody who's got a nice weak deck like mine. Let's see who's next. Gargantuan, aka Robert. I had an out. I had some chances. I had removal, and I had a couple of removal draws for the dragon, but missed them. All right, I'll resend mine. They put some tasty dragon food down on the spikes, and the dragon's like, and then dies. There we go. Be nice not to mulligan this time too. Wouldn't mind that. Yeah, we'll keep this. No 2 again, but Vampire Spawn and early clutches to give us some card advantage is all right. We got things to do. We got Spawn into Skelly with a land, and now we have a Torch on 2 even. So not a creature, but we got a play on 2. There's the Innkeeper we passed. And now we got a nice play on 3 as well. Probably go with the Priest over the Vampire Spawn. We'll see. See what Robert ramps to here. I'm afraid I almost want him to ramp here, because if he ramps here, it means he can't Owlbear me next turn. Yeah, but Priest might draw us something that we care about, but we can but I guess since we have, it depends if we have land or not. If we draw a 4th land, I play Spawn. 4th land says Spawn, but without a 4th land, we really want to hit the Skellies next turn, so I'd give myself 2 chances to draw land. But since we have, although now also with a Death Toucher, we might want the more expendable Priest to tangle with the Death Toucher. So there's that as well. Interesting competing push and pull. I'm going to go with the Priest because of the Death Toucher. We did. I saw Owlbear. I saw and passed Owlbears. At least one, I should say. I know I passed one Owlbear for sure. Now if, I expect Gargantuan to come up with something big here on 5 for 5 mana. But if the Priest remains, if Robert doesn't come up with anything with 3 toughness, then I like sending in the Priest and having the Death Priest here. Although I guess we need mana for it, so this is not a play this turn. Never mind. We'll just go ahead and send the Priest, offer trades, and then drop Skelly. If we draw land for next turn, I like Clutches Paladin. We'll see, but I feel like Robert might end up going down to 2 cards after this turn. Never mind. Robert's going to be up on cards, and we'll take some of them away with the clutches later. Kind of just want a land so that we can swing in, trade off the skellies. Yeah, maybe just Vampire Paladin would be good. The Blue Eye of Sauron. Top. Looks like we're going to need this removal this game. Green with lots of mana is going to produce something large before this is out. Yeah, I don't mind that. I assume Robert's going to play something that can block the skellies if he's attacking with the 1/2 Death Touch. Just so. And we're going to have to take a big hit from that, but we can go... let's see. Let's go Paladin, Vampire Spawn, and then next turn... Yeah, we might even consider a double block, but I like certainly starting with the Paladin and Spawn. Give him something to think about at least. He's really measuring his attacks here. I don't know if that means he's measuring a trick or measuring whether or not he's willing to make a 2-for-1 trade here. I could see trying to trade Priest and Skelly for this. We already got a card off the Priest, although that doesn't matter. I mean, just in terms of like, if we get 2-for-1 and lose the Priest, it's not a big loss. And if the Skeleton dies, at least we get to venture. And so I'm gonna make the offer. I think we do. The fail case is not a disaster. It's not good. We would prefer this to just be a trade, but if it's not just a trade, it's not a crazy disaster. So indeed, we did not get the trade, but indeed it is not a crazy disaster. I think we just go down the middle here. We have things that care about completing dungeons, so we'll do this, speaking of. And that is not the mana we need to get things done. But yeah, I'm afraid we have to bin this. We really need a 6th mana here. It does make a treasure, that's true, but I was hoping for it next turn. I guess we're at 21. We can take 1 hit from the 7/6. That's fair. All right. I just also wanted the 1/1. We'll keep it because I do think we have some time. So, do we go with the gargoyle here? What's the alternative? I think we try to clutch them next turn. The other possibility is Priest, even after potentially sending in like a Paladin, and then we can go Priest, make a Skelly. I kind of like that for max mana and for getting the Skelly chain going. Oh yeah, sorry. I'll reject that and give you a freebie.
That is so fetch. Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
So yeah, we could gargoyle, get the treasure. If we get the treasure, then what are we doing after that? We can shrink the giant. Treasure, shrink giant, not the worst. Yeah, maybe that's fine. Get through this dungeon and although we could even just hold this for next turn, we could clutch 2 of these 3 cards. If we equip and swing, what are we doing? I mean, we're just giving up we're trading something for the Underdark at that point. So could torch the spawn, make a 3/4. Then they just get a free block here, but attacking advances the dungeon and shrinks the giant. Yeah, we could -3. We could -4 this and get in, but at that point, put that on the Paladin. That's the 3 life. I see the play Mike is talking about. Yeah, but that's why we would send Paladin, then we'd gain life. That's what Mike is saying. And then, yeah, we do get very close to having Gargoyle fly. Tron likes the clutch. Yeah. Interesting lines. Interesting line possibilities. I'm gonna go this plan. I like yours too, Tron, but I gotta make a call. I'm just gonna do this. I'm not sure which is correct. Can even offer the spawn as well, I suppose. If we're not gonna block this. Yeah, let's do this. That's the wrong block, Tron. Switch that. Oh, sorry, Robert. I said Tron because I was just talking to Tron, but I think Robert should have... Robert had a free block on 3 instead of 2. I play perfectly 100% of the time, so shame on Robert. Well, at least Robert's got the tank now. Trying to figure out how to manage here. Our plan is to basically behold the 7/6. That Robert's out of huge things, and Gargoyle attacks forever. Especially for you, Tron. Exactly. Yeah. Gargantuan just goes, slam, slam, you're done for. If Robert attacks with the 7/6 and does not deploy something that can just eat the paladin wearing the torch, then we just send the paladin in to be eaten by the Death Toucher and let the 3/4 fly over. We're going to say no blocks here. Yow! Some of us are trying to win a game of Magic here, buddy. Well, we do have the attack. We just have a real rough attack back. So I'm going to send in Gargoyle and Paladin. And then we probably just drop Priest and pay 1 and get a token off of the Paladin. Yeah, I guess, but I'm going to play the Death Priest and make a token, and we can double block spawn and token. I mean, it is screwed by removal, but so would the Gargoyle play. That's all right. So I got the land, but I kind of still like the Death Priest play. Although we could clutch them for final 2 cards, but then I lose the ability to... Oh, we could clutch for final 2 cards and equip for the block. How about that? I'm gonna clutch, although he really gets to draw a card and decide, but still. I like they pump wolf. How do they pump wolf? Oh, I see. I didn't read the last line of text. I only knew of the first 2. Still a trade. Right? So I like this. They got to keep their best card. We'll equip up our spawn and hope we can block. Hope indeed. So we're gonna... now our only hope is to eyes the Mind Flayer, get back our spawn, and block. Trouble is the spawn will be attacking, so we kind of have to do that after main phase. but before attacks. So we don't get to, like, surprise the pack leader, but that's all we've got here. I don't need a stop. It's just at the end of their main phase. Right, but that's when this happens. See, they're gonna pass their main phase. And this is, they're still in first main. All right, so this is where we're in declare attackers. And we're done here.
Is this a dead man, Doctor? Very dead, Mr. Spock.
Well, we didn't really have the mana to take it back, but yes. All right, well, my deck is performing about as expected. Robert got us with a protected bomb, and Tron got us with a dragon, which is any dragon, basically better than every card in my deck. Good game, Robert. Looks like other people at least opened some bombs. Like my pick ones were all just rotten. You know, I first picked a feign death. Like, it's a bad scene in here. We did pass the Mind Flayer. I avoided blue, maybe to my own peril, this draft. I mean, I'm going to keep this. We have a trap. We could even sack the trap to the dispute to turn these two cards into two different cards. And I might here. We'll see. The trouble is, this is like some of our only removal. And I already feel like I've lost this one. Yeah, we get the treasure. I just don't like giving up my removal, but we probably have to. I'll wait till the end of their turn, though. We need a play for turn 3, if nothing. So, now that we do have the Paladin, the trouble is it doesn't block anything here. Nothing I have, though, blocks anything here. So I'm going to play the Paladin to at least try to get some life back. And then, yeah, we got an ally on 4. But nothing here is worth... here is worth accelerating into. Boy, Well, at least a 3/3 could potentially stonewall the board. But leather armor on the Outlander means that we don't get to attack through, although Manticore helps there. This is where if the ally lives, we have a chance. If the ally lives, we're in solid shape in the current board. Ally dies and we're back to, like, I don't know, how do we win? I don't know. Interesting attack. We could put the Paladin in front of the Death Toucher and just accept that offer. But we can also, with Manticore, try to take advantage of this next turn. Yeah, I think we just take this one. I'm with Mike, but it's nerve-wracking. We're getting pretty low on life here. Flooding a bit too now. So now we will go... I think we got to attack. And we'll go down the middle, try to complete our dungeon. I could swing both. Yeah, maybe swing both, and Manticore is the play there. I'm gonna go down the middle. Interesting. We'll keep the priest. Yeah, I can't hit the Vigilance without more mana, but that's okay. We'll just set up for it, and we could put the priest out if we want instead. Well, yeah, Manticore on the block doing the leather, doing that. But we don't need to take out the shepherd here. In fact, I mean, maybe we just play the priest, and then I'm willing to trade Paladin off for the Death Toucher and take 2, and then set up for what we do after that. But I'm okay with this. Like, if we take the shepherd and try to trade with the Death Toucher, that's fine. Yeah, and if the reach comes in, we'll just trade for that. Now, Tranel knows what's coming, but either it works or it doesn't. Let's play this now.
Go Team Venture!
Yeah, hexproof could happen. Sure. Why not? Why not? I'll just get blown out by everything all day long. We still traded a creature for a wild shape. It's just not the trade we wanted. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and send the ally, make a goblin. Yeah, then we have a ghoul, a token to use with ghoul, and we can at least 2 spell here. Zombie Lord in effect. Forgot this was going to be a 5-4 instead of a 4-3. That's quite relevant given the power toughness spread we're looking at from Tranel. Thank you, Adobe. Only the Shepherd. I'm going to try to trade a Goblin for it. If it doesn't work, okay, but we got to keep trying. Well, I hated one of these, hate drafted one longbow, but the other one is good enough here. Obviously, Tranel pre-sideboarding against my flyers. What a jerk. Yeah, see, it's the first time you've seen it cast, because you'd only run it against an opponent you knew was playing a bunch of flyers. I'm kidding, of course. I'm not accusing Timber for real of pre-sideboarding against me. 3-2 gets 5-4. Not enough. I guess we gargoyle. I guess we can gargoyle, make this a 4-3, and then it sacks to enough to actually take this thing out. Then at that point, we just lose the this thing, though, right? So we're going to venture and try and hold. And where do we want this counter? Could spread out in the air. We could make put it on the gargoyle itself, so this eventually becomes a 4-5. But even a 4-5 doesn't get through this. Maybe on the Manticore for spreading it around, but also I want the Ghoul to have something to sack. So also thinking about out, like actually if we put it here and we end up with a 4-5 and we find a torch, we get a 5-6, and at least a 5-6 torched gargoyle with a counter can attack into this and trigger venture. So I'm actually going to put it on the gargoyle because there's equipment we could draw that would give it attacks. But now we're going to hold. Yeah, that they move equipment around, sure. But, you know, I'm at least trying to solve the way they have their board positioned right now. And that's a little bit of Millhouse for us. Especially because we can draw a card here. Now I've been battered by frickin' Wild Shape all draft. Well, twice. Let's see if it happens again. But we have the 1 mana for the ward, right? So this is our best shot. Let's see if it works. Come on, one time. I don't need to send Manticore, although that would be a reason to put it here to the trades with that. But we can send everything else here. No Ghoul, says Mike. Why not Ghoul? I'm happy to trade Ghoul for either of these. Why wouldn't you Ghoul? Manticore just gets eaten, but I don't understand the no Ghoul. You just like it back for defense or whatever? Yeah, I'm gonna go with my logic, which says play the attack with a Ghoul. kind of want him to use the Death Toucher. That would be great. Both either the Death Toucher or the Reach dying here would be good, and we get a Skelly out of it. That's true. Already had the Skelly. Can't beat these, though. Can't beat these Gigantors. I got like one turn to do it here. I think we send everything but the Priest. To ensure that these two get through. I'm thinking it through. No reason to send the 2/2 on the ground. It's whether or not we want to send them. We keep all the ground guys down. Send the 2 flyers for sure. Do we send the Manticore is the question. If we do, it turns it into another 2/2. So, land stinks. I'm actually going to just send these. May as well have the... I guess with the double reach, though, it practically doesn't matter whether this is a 2/1 in the air or a 2/2 on the ground. But I just don't think... I think we get the 7 no matter what. I don't think Timber's chumping with Outlander here, do you? So... But it does... Yeah, I'll do it. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. And maybe I'm going for life now. Do we go Tomb of Annihilation to try and close it out somehow? We got stuff to discard. Yeah, I'm going to do Tomb. It also gives us a Death Toucher at completion for a possible way to deal with the 7/7. Scry is reasonable. But if, as much as anything, I'm going for an eventual Cradle of the Death God. We can even go down the middle. We can go down Oubliette, discard a card, sack a creature. We have no artifact, and land is whatever. And sacking a creature just replaces itself. And only the Gorger kills one of these two, but not both. Oh, Gargoyle is an artifact, but they would... but I can sacrifice this as my creature. But maybe I shouldn't do that. I mean, the thing is they're going to block it anyway, right? Mike says we can't swing. Well, we could swing and not go down that channel. We could go down Veils of Fear. But yeah, I guess we just gotta pass. Just gotta try to get wide enough now. torch. Does that help? Double. Yeah, let's put it on. That's something to do, right? All right. Man, having a tough time of it today, but we do have the plan here of just Skelly forever. Double Skelly forever. Actually, I should think this through, because we could potentially move this to... Well, they still got a 9/7. So, yeah, I guess the same one. I just making sure we didn't have some stack thing somewhere else. Throw one of these back and make another one. Yeah, like we were saying this has this D+ level performance, but now, how do we want to deal with this? 5/4, crashing in, maybe chump? We could go gargoyle, just trade off with gargoyle, which is not even really getting in anymore against all this reach. It's not even... Death Touch token we could do and just make another one, I suppose. Maybe I should. Death Touch token, keep going back through Annihilation. It's true. How does this work? All right, let's do that. $19. Jeez. Remember when we had him almost dead? I mean, it can stick the torches right in its ribs and just kind of hold him there. Maybe we don't go to Tomb. Heck, maybe we just go to Dungeon Mad Mage. I'm gonna do this. Hey, removal. Thank you. Removal. Like, we have removal. I forgot. I can't move this, or I can't pay for the priest, so... 18 to 15 on library. So we do have to find a way to deal damage. Yeah, we could go 5. You have 10 mana. We could go and 11 off the bounty. We could go Grim the 6/6. Yeah, if we Grim the 6/6, we can actually get in with flyers this turn. Let's start there. All right. Not exactly what we wanted, but we still have double torch. But if we do double torch, we don't get extra skelly, but we want to kind of go flyers anyway here and go... yeah, we can go gargoyle and still just send the skelly down below, I suppose. Yeah, let's just do that. We could put it here and get extra, but this is fine. Do we care about being attacked? I don't think he's attacking, so let's just get treasure. Right? Do we care about any of these attacking us? Nah. We kind of want him to. Clutches. Yeah. Do you think this is just land? I mean, they're going to draw a card and play the Dungeoneer and move equip. So I bet this gets some stuff. So yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, mill 2. I think we're still too far behind in the deck race though, but we'll keep it. Could move the torch, but we have plenty of mana. We know what we're drawing, so we're just gonna do it this way. Because they have a 3/5 reach. Still doing this plan. Let's take a look and decide. If we do this, we might end up without anything to do. I think going wide is fine, especially since the skellies get buffed. More skellies. We'll take that as well. Well, it is what it is. We didn't have much. I mean, I wanted to bin the lands, so. Dang. Feels like we're going to come up short here, too. Reach is just killing us. And scry to the top doesn't make me happy to see either. But perhaps Mad Wizard's Lair will get us there. Just got to find a way around all this, and soon. Let's see. We guess we want Priest for free or Blink Dog for free. Blink Dog could maybe start wearing stuff. Feign Death. We get to draw it all. It doesn't really matter. So let's go Priest and see a little extra. Ooh, Gloomstalker wearing a couple of pieces of equip could be real. And boy, do we just go through this again? Death Toucher. Tron likes the Mad Mage. Raptor likes the Tomb. True likes the Lost Mine. Interesting. Yeah, buffing the Death Toucher, not a bad point. Yeah, I think True and Mike have convinced me the counter could matter. And we can keep that. It represents action of some kind. More skellies. Yeah, can we get there in time? I suppose. Destroy enchantment. Well, this may be my own fault, this whole thing. I mean, I just feel like I'm being beat by the decks that I could have had. Could have had the green-white life gain deck and banked in a different direction that ended up being much worse. I mean, the board has gotten so out of hand, I don't see how we get 20 damage in before we deck. I think we're just going to deck, which is crazy. I mean, but it's also part of the problem of this deck. It doesn't close well if you got any flying defense. So, 8 power here does, 8 damage is quite the threat. We only get 4 of it first strike, but then we also have Feign Death to save it and make it bigger again. So we're going to just move in on the Stalker here. And eventually we're just going to have to swing out and hope. Are we getting the counter in time? Yeah, I guess we get 2 right here, so yep. Well, chump block is okay. We get free skellies and we get wider. Getting wide is going to be the only way we can get there here. Blink Dog, plus another Skelly. Still have Feign Death if we need it. Let's see what Tranel gets with this. Druid class, sure. All right, we're getting close to just having to shove. This is interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 attackers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blockers. 8, 9, 10, 11, 5 get through. I think maybe one more turn. Like we try to dump as much as our hand as we can and get in next turn. So 5/6 only. Draw a card. Oh, Manticore. Cool. Manticore is going to be a pretty big game, I think. Back through Pendelhaven to find more power for attacks. Tomb for extra damage, yeah. Like, we do just need to get them low. I'm going to go back to Tomb, I think, with the low card count. Get to that 4/4. We can even go down the right path and use treasure to sack 2. So, 10 total mana, 9 for 1 skeleton, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 leaves us Feign Death. So I like Gloomstalker, Planar Ally, save treasure for a possible Feign Death. Oh, I guess we get the Feign Death anyway. That's still what I want. Yeah, I'm still going to do that. Oh, yeah, there we go. We just don't have to use the treasure, which is fine as well. Lets us keep the plan of going down the right channel. Probably sending like everything but our Skelly Maker. Maybe even that. All right. We've got this Manticore that matters, but I do think we're at math is for blockers time, right? I could move something off of a Stalker to spread around the... oh yeah, should have held the land for discard. That's a fair point. I just feel like we actually need mana here, so I kind of instinctively played it because we're doing so much with our mana. If we take equipment off, we get a 4/5. Kind of like, as long as we have the mana, 11 mana for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we can't move and play all of this, but we can play 11 mana, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We could move both Torches and Feign Death and Manticore and still have the treasure to sack. I kind of like... yeah, I guess this still creates a lethal... I'm going to move 1. I think we move 1. And I move this to the other doggy. Too late, Mike. Too late. And I think we leave the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh man. I just don't want it to be the difference between lethal and not. I mean, we gotta win. We're at 4. I'm sending all. We can yeah, we do have the Feigned Death for the priest if we want. We do have we're not going to be able to play Skelly, but we do have these two. Whatever. Here we go. And do we want to do this? Yeah, we do. This is where I wish I could do the math. They have no cards. So we should, yeah, we should make them take 2, right? But do we want to get through twice? Yeah, I'm going to go with this. And I think we just discard. We don't even need to discard. We can probably take 2. Like, this is going to work or it's not. But we can't cast this. Yeah, whatever. And we're going to go through the portal again and make him lose life. Certainly this has been interesting. Now we've got first strikers going, so let's let the first strike happen. And then we're gonna figure out what to core. And we want to save Doggo or yeah, which Yes, this one grows. Yeah, let's take out this. And then Feign Death on this. Or on our... Is it lethal? I haven't done the math. I'm not doing the math. Yeah, on the Gargoyle for another Venture. But what is that? And that gets us another 2 damage. Sure, just to be sure. Let's do that. I like it. Wow. I'm gonna gingerly hit the hair toss button, but I'm feeling exhausted.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Holy game. Wowie. Epic, Timber. That was epic. It all came down to a stupid bow. If you just put that bow at the bottom of your library, I think we won 12 years ago. We completed all 3 dungeons 12 times, I think. Man. Well, I'm glad I saved my hair for the week. That was a tight one. I don't know if I'm winning again today, but I got one. See ya, Bobster. Yeah, we actually got, I mean, we got him to -2, but we triggered the 2 damage twice from the left channel of the, I mean, I think, yeah, we needed all of that. This looks good. Torch on 2, Priest or Gargoyle on 3, probably Priest, depending, we'll see. So, equipped Priest can attack into the Pixie Guide, and we don't have our 4th land yet, so let's Priest it up. And I think Bobster got stuck on land. I forget who went first here. We could send in the Priest unadorned and Manticore and take out the Pixie Guide. But I mean, we could just be running it. The thing about like open blue mana is we could get bounced and that would be a pain. Then we do get to recast the Priest, which doesn't completely suck. So I'm going to go ahead and hook up and go. And we'll go down the middle. Clutches is solid in general, but not against a mana-screwed opponent. Thing is, it's better than a land, but we do need a second black source to get the Priest going, so I'm going to actually bottom it. Demi-Lich, wowie. Is this real life? Well, right now we still get to attack in. And I could make a treasure token, but I think I want the counter for the flyer, so we're going to go Goblin and Ally. The double Manticore and Rock Bobster's willingness to attack into the 3/2 make me want to just Manticore the Demi-Lich next turn and just send in the Priest and hold back here. And I guess we're throwing this on the Priest itself. No, the cast stuff from your library is real. Just not right now for Bobster, but in general it is. Why not get the 3/4 flyer? I'm just trying to take out the card that I find to be a bit scary. It looks like Bob has sniffed it out, but and actually the Manticore is not a good play here since it can't really attack. Although we could torch it up. I'll just say no. Man, I really want the treasure now. Yeah, I've already bottomed that anyway. Let's Gargoyle and try and draw. Although I guess we draw just by attacking. We trade off. Yeah, I'm just going to send in the priest. I don't care what happens to it. And we got our second swamp. That's cool. So we can go to Death Priest if we want to get Skellies going. And I think I do like that. Let's get the priest going. We've seen the power of Torch on these tokens. At 7 mana, we can go Gargoyle, Equip, and pay for Priest. So I'm going to do it. Is it... Yeah, we could just Manticore instead. That's a good point. I'll start with the Torch attack then. But if we Manticore, we can't make a Skelly on this... If they don't block, we'll do that. But we can even send the priest, I suppose, but they just block it with the pixie guide, and I don't really care about doing that. We're ahead on life enough to go Annihilation, I think. Now we'll go Gargoyle and make a Skelly. Sleepy Flyers today, Sleepy Flyers. But we have nice plays now with Manticore, such that we are just going to send in these two. Yeah, I suppose I could sack these critters. That would be fine, too. We don't... Let's see, do we have any enchantment removal? We don't have any of those 2-drops. We do have a... We have a ghoul, though. We have a ghoul that wouldn't mind it. And actually, feign death with them could work, you know. Hello, Spider Queen. Interesting. I like swing away. Let's see. Can we just, quote, just win? Draw a card and lose a life. No big deal. So I think we just swing away. At face. Not priest, though. So not much of a swing away, but I'll trade Manticore for one of these. Okay, they're going with that anyway, which is fine. And we can Manticore for Manticore and kill that thing. All right, I think we got this one. We can even feign death on the Manticore. Do that plan.
And I, the
jealous? Aren't I jealous? Subservience will be rewarded.
Hopefully we're wide enough to get there next turn. Looks good for the home team.
Do what I demand.
Don't think it matters all that much. I'll actually just spread it around.
I do my hair.
All right, after an 0-2 start, we're back to even. Oop, I forgot to update my record, but we are 2-2 now. Well, the Skelly Lord, which we had talked about cutting due to its clunkiness, has actually been basically single-handedly responsible for both of my wins, which speaks to the no, we got to play our strikeout home run cards in a medium deck. Mantuka up next. All right. Thanks for hanging out today, everybody. Hope you have good weekend plans. Just going to try and catch up on life again. That's what I try to do every weekend. Mixed success. Good game, Bobster. Okay. Ching. Come on, Arena. Make the sound. Should we try a mutual restart? What do you think, Rocket? You haven't done any IT until you've restarted. Boy, my computer's chugging these days. I'm really afraid of it, like, crapping out on me or something, since everything's so expensive right now. I don't want to have to buy a new PC. Let's see. Yeah, info looks good. Maybe can we try the next in line and just see if it's a Mantuka specific thing or whether we're just generally dead in the water? Give Chimero a line cut here. Yeah, I'm at 32,646 going optimal. But all right, let's try Chimero and see if I can pair with somebody. All right, so what's going on with Mantuka and me then? I'm not sure. We'll keep this with the Stalker on 3. We'd like it 2, but the deck doesn't have that many. We got mana. I can't ask for too much more than that. Scary. All right, whew, no 2 from Chimero either. Maybe 3 damage. We did see 1 Dragon's Fire go by. Had to pass it in pack 3, I think. Whoa, what is that about? Oh. Well, it seems like he really wants that. We can just bounty it, knowing we're heading into ally mode, but I kind of don't mind if if the Hawk picks up boots. Or do we care that much? I'm just going to play a creature. We even get to hold up Feign Death. Our removal is so slim, I think we should save this for a better target, even though clearly Chimero really wanted to get this thing going. Another Stalker. We could do some Feign Death shenanigans here, but I don't... yeah. I'm just gonna go ally. Make Chimero have some removal. Removal's been slim for all of us. I don't know why no equip. I was one... like, I don't know. I don't know. But I am going to play it careful. I'm not even going to send in here. Even though you could make an argument for Stalker or even Ghoul, I just want to try and get our ally going. If we had the Feign Death trick, we could do it, but I think we just take the 4 here and we look to crack back. Maybe just Grim Bounty that. Although I kind of just like Priest here. First, see what comes of it. Have Feign Death up, potentially find land for a second Stalker. Ooh, that would be good. This is like a turn late. If we send Stalker, it's kind of it's a threatened trade, but I think with the Feign Death, I'm willing to do this. Get aggro. I'm gonna go down the middle though. Skellies. Do we want Skellies? We untap with Skelly. That's not bad, but I think we just want more land. It is a body, but we could use a little more land here. Oops. Well, I guess I keep it. I didn't mean to click that. I was still deciding, but it's not the. It was a close call anyway, so whatever. I'm gonna feign death the Stalker. Wait a sec. I guess we could just let this happen. I could ghoul. Maybe I'll feign death the Priest. If Chimero has the ability to sack the boots to save the Rust monster, I'm gonna make Chimero do that, because I would trade, like, if we lose Ghoul and Chimero loses Rust monster because he lets this happen, that's fine. But I guess first strike happens first anyway, right? Yeah. First strike gets to happen. So let's just take a look at what maybe Chimero will make the first move. There we go. All right, so now we'll go ahead and feign death and save the Stalker over getting an extra card there or whatever. That looks pretty sweet. Now we get their last two cards with clutches. And can't stop the flyover. Let's start by checking out final two. Rapier and Tribe Hunter. Can send Ghoul since we're getting a Gobbo. But are going to hold on the Stalker until it's double strike. I guess they just trade Gobbo for Gobbo if they want. Well, I'm fine with that. 2. Ghoul for Gobbo and Dungeoneer is also fine. Monkey business. Might have to eat a bounty so that our ally keeps getting there. Just gonna take this. Let's see what attacks. Stalker can get a counter and have good attacks here. So let's do that. Could just put it on our flyer, but the eventual double strike and the clean attacks on the ground make me want to do that. And I could Grim Bounty now so that there's no tap down next turn. If I bounty, we could even follow with a Gloomstalker. Let's bounty Gloomstalker, and then we have a very nice looking turn next turn, completing the dungeon with 2 double strikers. All right, I've taken the lead, gang. Classic Gauntlet. 0-2, now 3-2.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Well, it's that kind of draft, Robert. That kind of draft. I was so happy to get a density of creatures that weren't downright embarrassing. Right on. Excellent. Well, no matter what, this is going to be a narrow week. Gotta keep this despite a lack of a 2. Good thing we have a couple of nice 3s that'll provide some defense if Mantuka gets off to a hot start. But we can't throw this back because of lack of 2s. We don't have enough 2s to even, safely mulligan into. Yikes! Probably start on spawn. Combo. So now we're just gonna lose. Like we can't really beat this. We gotta like race it, and that's gonna be tough.
Thundar, the Barbarian.
So we're basically racing 3 per turn until we're ready to double block it, lose 1 to the death touch. Well, actually, we lose 2. We got a 2-for-1 ourselves to kill a Javelineer equipped with a Talisman. First ping, death touch kills a blocker. Second trade, kills... Well, we're just taking this. Well, we're going to send in with the spawn because we need to be aggressive here. We don't have, but we can't wait around to just lose to attacks, and we'll be willing to trade off Skellies here any way we can. Besides Javelineer, I won't trade for the Javelineer. But the good news is, at least if they go for the Javelineer combo, the other stuff can't really attack us. So it is, conceivably raceable. We'll take this trade here. Start venturing. And I think you could make a case that, like, if we win this, it's because we're going long, so we may as well go Mad Mage. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. I don't like our spot, but if we do have a chance here, it's going to be because we end up going long. So let's presume we're going to go long and play accordingly. JC liked the middle path. That's cool too. I'm going to go ahead and planar ally here. And then we get to untap with Grim Bounty or Cloister Deadly Dispute. I'm surprised Cuneo would be that wrong. Well, now we kind of have to bounty the Ranger. We can bounty the Ranger and still do Gargoyle after combat. See you, Robert. Torch I'll even keep here. Cruise through this dungeon to the best of our ability. Take out a barb. I could dispute, but I'm willing to take the trade here. And we can even prevent some damage from Javelineer. They got to move to this if they want to do the thing. Gotta say no blocks, though. I think now we need to, like, well, let's see. Yeah, one reason to do center is because of things like the gargoyle. We're far off from completing gargoyle now, but it's doing a decent job on blocks. And yeah, I don't think we have time for torch right now. Yeah, that's true. Skellies do some work if we want to double up there. Yeah, and then we still get... Oh, we don't get Deadly Dispute up. But that's interesting. Sure. I'll take the Chumpers. I like that, JC. Also, the Chumpers lead to Manticore doing work next time. Like, they make Manticore better in the future. Can also see about where the scry puts us. Do we want that? Clutches might be keepable here. I think we want both of these. It's action. We're close to the end of the dungeon. I'm going to keep those. Well, they prevent one, but see, we can stop some of this at least. Gargoyle's a little scurry, but we'll just chump, hope to bounce, and save one for the Manticore play coming up. We could double, but the double blocks with skeletons is interesting to get rid of the Javelineer too. We'd have to take 4 though, and I don't see doing that. I'm just going to do it this way. Manticore could hurt. I thought we might get him with 2 cards left in hand. Only the 1. And actually, we could just wait on this now. I think I want the Manticore play. We do have double... We're going to actually have a nice turn here in terms of casting stuff for free, we hope. So I like swinging Planar Ally and Gargoyle and seeing about what we draw. This is risky. We're up against a lot over there, but I feel like with the Scry 3 and the cast stuff for free, we're going to be good. See, we get to put this and this down, and then at least we get a free Gloomstalker, if not better. A bunch of 3s. Let's play the Ancient Lore. Get more free stuff. And now with 6 mana, what 2 things do we want to do? Stalker for sure. And get last card or just play more defense. Could just hold up Deadly Dispute too. Yeah, no Manticore now. I accept that. Let's take 2 damage in their last card. We got chumps. Grim Bounty. Doesn't suck to pull that. At this point, I like taking this thing out. Looks, they're out of cards. We got 7 in the air, and they're done with life, so I think we got it. For the exact C's, we'll take it.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
All right. I think we got one more, actually, right? Smooth Tuesday, looking to anchor it and bring it close. Nice thing about tracking the format record is that every game matters, even if it's decided in terms of the week. It's not decided for the format. Thanks, George. Sure looked sketchy. I got the 4 wins, but starting 0-2 was nerve-wracking. Changed my view of the priest. What priest? This one? No. I feel like part of the reason that priest has been doing so well for us is that there was just not a lot of good removal in these packs. But, I mean, it's proven the strikeout home run thing. We just haven't struck out with it yet, which has been nice. And this is a nice opener. We actually have a 2. One of our few turns that's going to start on a 2. Wow, 3 blue drafters. Interesting. Good game, Mantuka. Yeah, we'll swing with both and trade either with no complaint. We're not going to get a trigger off the Death Priest, which is too bad, but I'll still take the 1-for-1 of Tuesday's choice here. Certainly the combo with Delver's Torch and Priest was really interesting. Like, I had never done that before. Just sending in endless torching. Feign Death, you say? Well, I'd be willing to run that instead of the Priest. Or we could just play Priest now and have Torch and Feign Death next turn. Although now I've kind of committed because of my not use of the Evolving Wilds. I think I'm going to play it cagier here and just priest and hold. If the priest lives and we untap with Feign Death, Delver's Torch, and attacks, we should be in nice shape. If the priest dies, well, there you go. Finally, it got killed right away, right? Yeah, I didn't see what Tuesday rolled on the Jin. I was thinking ahead. All right, so we could play Swamp, cast and equip Delver's Torch if we thought that alone was worth just making the play on. We do that. We don't get a Death Priest trigger. I kind of like swing. Yeah, we just swing Ghoul alone and then decide what to do after we see what they want to do about the Ghoulie Ghoul. So then I like Evolving Wilds, yeah, we don't need to force the Death Priest though, right? So I like doing this for Plains, getting the Torch down, having Feign Death ready, and then next turn also looks still pretty good. Well, we have the Feign Death play here, but I'm fine racing. Let's just take this and see what Tuesday wants to do on defense. Yeah. Well, now we can torch up the Ghoul or torch up the Stalker and just be ready to Feign Death either way, but I like torch on the Ghoul. Down the middle. Clutches. Yeah, Clutches is good here. So we could go Feign Gloomstalker to get extra damage and a Skelly. Get a big Gloomstalker, a Skeleton, and extra damage through. I think that's worth it here. So I'm going to do this. And then we get into Skeleton Torch mode if we want. Yep. Now, effectively, the Ghoul is a 6/5, which is probably the correct... Yeah, probably just keep at it exactly as is. And Can even send everything. Like, I guess we still don't send the Stalker. We'll still just send the Ghoul. Yeah, that's fine. Let him do that. That doesn't seem like a great long-term plan to just bounce the Beast every time. We're getting wider here. Sack fodder in Goblin form now. Oh, I meant to sack. Well, interesting. I think in Tuesday's spot I would have taken my mistaken offer. But we'll take this too. Wouldn't have been too bad. We just move the torch and don't have the Ghoul anymore, and we get rid of the Beast, but I meant to sack. Yeah, and don't worry, we don't need to sack this. Well, because this bounced, so yeah, we do. Yeah, we'll sack this and make a Skelly. Yep. Goodbye, Smoothie Tuesday. Who could hang a win on you? Smoothie Tuesday is the promotion at your local frozen yogurt shop. My mood always gets better after the hair is safe. My mood improved on the first win and has been about there ever since. It's a trap! This ought to get us there. Take out the biggin. Attack with everything. Let's see, we attack with everything, and then even they block here, we just win, right? So I'm gonna make them have it. Three, four, five, six, seven. Still lethal right now. All right. Classic Gauntlet style. Win streak into win streak, full stop. 0-2 into 5-0. Was looking grim to start, and then I rattled off a bunch, and here we are. Right on, gang. You can tell I was playing under no clock because suddenly it took till 12:20 to complete my games today. Well drafted, everybody. That was a tough draft. That was unkind packs. I'll give you one final hair toss here.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
That one game was hyper epic, and I was tanking a lot. I wasn't the only one tanking a lot, but I like working without a rope, but it's probably bad for me. You know what I mean? Erodes my discipline. But that was some interesting games after really clunky, difficult draft and scary start into a smooth ending. No pun intended, Smooth Tuesday. Thank you so much for hanging out. Felt great to be back. This is my first week back from jury duty, and having a full regular week of morning streaming felt awesome. That was my little theme of the week on music as well. And those of you who haven't heard, if you are curious about jury duty, I did post my experience of jury duty to YouTube. So you want to hear me talking about that, you can go check out that on YouTube or anywhere else you want, or any other videos there you want if you want to watch some other magic stuff. Thanks, YouTube friends. Slam the like and tell your friends and leave a comment, all that good stuff. Juice the algo, as Hat likes to say. Thanks. Catch you next draft, YouTube buddies.